What's up, everybody? Welcome to the smoke session. Today, I'm going to be talking about how I got my medical marijuana card and how you can get yours too. Before I get into that, you know what we're going to do. I'm going to take a rip. Unfortunately, right now, I don't have any nugs to show. I just have some bottom of the jar stuff. That's all I have left. I'm actually going to pick up more today. This is some Wi-Fi. It says WF, stands for Wi-Fi, crossed with ChemBio, number 082. This is from Live Well. Don't typically go to that dispensary. That's a pretty big dispensary all around Colorado. They have locations in Denver, a location in Boulder, and a location in a place called Greeley. That's a little bit less known than Denver and Boulder. But, you know, they have good prices, but there's just something about the bud I don't really care for. It's not that potent compared to a lot of the stuff I get down in Denver and things like that. But anyways, let's get it, guys. I hope wherever you are, weed is legal, you're smoking along. Even if weed isn't legal, I hope you're still out there smoking along. And for those who can't, we're taking rips for you. So people think getting your medical marijuana card is a big process, a really difficult thing to do, and depending on what state you're in, it's not necessarily that hard. Of course, being in a place like Colorado or Washington, California, any of those places, Oregon, Alaska, where it's legalized, there are a lot more people are going to be more lenient about it. There's a lot more people who believe everyone should have or should be able to have their medical marijuana card, just like I do. So, I live in Colorado, as you guys know. So, in Colorado, it's a pretty simple process, and for most states, it should be pretty similar. And in some states, it may even be easier. I know I've heard, I'm not exactly sure which states these are, but I've heard of different states where you can do like an online video with a doctor, and so you don't even have to leave your house. You can just webcam with a doctor and do the same appointment, and then they'll give you your med card. The biggest thing is, with what state you're in, there's different reasons, there's different legal reasons to have your med card. For example, in Colorado, for whatever reason, you can't have your med card for things like anxiety and insomnia, which I think is just strange. In other states, you can. And that makes it difficult for some people who may have insomnia, but they don't have anything on the list, the list, so they have to lie, say they have something else, and that's what I'm also going to get into today. The first thing you need to do is just go to Google and type in legal reasons to have your med card in whatever state. If you live in New Mexico, legal reasons to have your med card in New Mexico. You should be able to find a list of all the reasons. You have to pick one, decide which one you have, or decide which one you want to say you have, and then you have to be ready when you go there about that particular thing you're using. Most places is the typical stuff like chronic pain and things like that. PTSD, I think, and just different things like that. But the next step is you just need to go to Google again. Google's our friend here. You type in medical marijuana doctors in, and then whatever state. For me, medical marijuana doctors in Colorado. And a list of websites will come up. In a place like this especially, there are so many of them. The one I go to is a 5-minute drive away, and a great guy. So once you find a clinic, most of them are walk-in. What I would do is call them after you find the clinic you want to use, ask them how much it costs. Usually there will be a fee from the clinic. That's how the doctor gets paid. And then you have to, in Colorado, send a fee to the state after the doctor writes you the recommendation. That's just processing fees, tax fees, stuff like that. So you go to the doctor, you'll have to fill out some paperwork. You go see the doctor, And then at this point, you know, there's different doctors, of course. Some are more lenient than others. Luckily, the one I have is really nice. He's really understanding. He believes in marijuana like I do and how most people do around here, luckily. So he's not too hard on it. Most of them, especially if they're a medical marijuana doctor, you need to go to a medical marijuana doctor, not just any doctor. You know, there's a big difference between just your primary care doctor and a medical marijuana doctor. These people specialize in just giving people their medical marijuana cards, and that's what they're getting paid for, and most of them are getting a really big paycheck for it. But to avoid themselves going to jail, they still need to make sure they do it right. But the secret of that is you just have to tell them the right things. So I have mine for severe nausea, and I actually do get severe nausea really badly in the mornings. I don't know what it is. When I wake up in the mornings, I feel like I can't eat until I smoke, and I just feel sick to my stomach. And that's when severe nausea is a legal reason in Colorado. So I know here they like to ask, have you seen a doctor for it? You want to say, yes, you have, and then they'll ask you if you've taken medication for it. And of course, this is also just depending on what you have. This is what happened for me when I said severe nausea. He asked if I've got prescribed any medication for it. I said yes, but it wasn't helping. And even when it seemed like it might have been helping, I just wanted a more natural alternative. And these people agree with that. So that's a great thing to say. I was in and out of that clinic in 5 minutes. That's not even an exaggeration. That 5 minutes, maybe with all the paperwork and everything, it was 5 to 10, but no longer than 10 minutes did I fill out the paperwork, see the doctor, and head out. So I think that's a great thing. And so in your state, it should be pretty similar. There may be different things. I know I was doing some research on getting your medical marijuana card in California, and there may be other ways to do this, but the way I was reading is you have to get some sort of referral from a certain doctor before you go see the medical marijuana doctor, which didn't really make much sense to me. If that's how it works, then I really like the way they do it in Colorado. And actually, this year I just had to recently renew mine a few months ago, and before they would send you the card in the mail, so you would have to wait like a month or two at the least to get your card in the mail. But now it's just all online. They have this online program where they make an account for you after the doctor writes you the recommendation, and then in 24 to 48 hours only, your card pops up on that website and you can just print it out. So that's great. And that's also nice if you lose it, because before, if you lost it, or if you lost it, bad grammar there, you would have to pay a fee and then resend in your paperwork to the state, which is just a pain, and then you'd have to wait another month or more for it to get back to you. So states will be different, but at the same time, a lot of them will be similar. And a lot of course, you know, the biggest thing is obviously you have to live in a medical marijuana state. You can go to Google, type in medical marijuana states, you know. If you live in one, you probably know that you do. Actually, by now, most states have medical marijuana than the ones that don't. There's actually a lot of states out there. I know New Mexico, Arizona, and you know there's a lot of others. Those are the two by Colorado that I didn't know for a while, but then realized it. So they're out there. Almost forgot about that bowl. Let's fire it up. To finish this off, I just want to say, I think everyone deserves to have their medical marijuana card, whether if they fall under something on the list or not, because everyone can easily have a reason for it that's not on the list. If you like what you saw, make sure to give a hit to that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you want to see more. Leave any questions, concerns, anything else in the comments. I'll see you guys next time.